Hi, I'm Jerry Payne, your confidential ghostwriter. You know, lots of people want to write books, but once they've got them written, they're not sure how to get them out there. And so I want to talk today about the basic process for finding a publishing house for your nonfiction book. We can't cover everything here, but hopefully I can give you at least an idea as to how the whole process works. First, let me warn you that it's not easy. These days, because of the internet and Amazon, a lot of profit has been sucked out of the book publishing industry. Consequently, publishers are very selective about the books they publish. But that doesn't mean you can't try. But if you're going to try, you need to do it right. What's going to make you most attractive to a publisher is something in the industry called a platform. That's just an industry buzzword that means you already have an audience in place for your book. So even before you finish your book, you should be trying to build that audience. There are a lot of resources online to help you do that. Basically, you're going to be wanting to do a lot of social media, Facebook, Twitter. Build yourself a following. Advertise your book before it's even finished. When you're ready to find a publisher, make sure the book is finished and polished. I talked in an earlier video about how to polish your book. This is the time to do that. Make sure you find a proofreading service. There are several good online proofreading services that charge just pennies per word, and it's well worth the money. This is no time to skimp. Now, how to find a publishing house? Well, first, unless your name is J.K. Rowling or Stephen King, you're not going to get a publishing house to talk to you. What you're going to need first is a literary agent. Literary agents are people mostly in New York that know the publishers and basically act as gatekeepers for them. You'll need one to approach a publisher. Agents don't take money up front. Run from an agent who wants money up front, but typically they'll take 15% of any potential royalties of the book. They end up working on your behalf, which is a good thing if you find yourself negotiating with a big publishing house, let's say like Random House. But because they work on royalties, they're almost as selective as the publishers. If an agent decides to represent your book, you're probably going to get that book published. Now, I've always found New York agents to be kind of an arrogant bunch, a bit drunk on the power of being the gatekeepers. But if you're looking to get your book published by a publishing house, you're just going to have to swallow your pride and deal with them. So how do you find one? There are a lot of good sources online with searchable databases. Look around. What you're going to want to do is find an agent who represents your genre. Most agents like to specialize in certain types of books. Most agents also have a particular way in which they like to be approached. Go to their respective websites and look for their submission guidelines. Every agent has them. Normally they want to be queried first. Nobody wants to see the book right away. What you want to do is introduce them to the book through a query letter. It's kind of an introductory letter, sent anymore mostly by email. A good query letter starts with a hook that gets the agent's attention, summarizes the book, talks about the market for the book, and talks about your qualifications, why you're the person to write this book. It needs to be powerful, but it needs to be brief. Agents get dozens, if not hundreds, of query letters every month. When you send out your query letter, you're going to get a lot of rejections. Hey, it's a tough marketplace. We know that. So don't worry about it. Never take a rejection personally. There's an old saying in sales, every no gets you one step closer to yes. So just keep going. For a non-fiction book, if an agent is interested in a query, he or she will ask to see your book proposal. See, they still don't want to see the book. What's a book proposal? Well, a book proposal is essentially a detailed argument as to why the agent should represent your book. Typically, an effective proposal includes an overview, summarizing the book. This needs to be short and to the point to get the agent's attention. It includes information on the market, who's the audience for the book and why should they care about the book. It includes information about the platform that we talked about earlier, the people that you should already be marketing the book to, your promotional plan, how you're going to help market the book once it's published, how it ought to be promoted, by what marketing avenues, etc. Now, I know that sounds like the kind of thing an agent or publisher should know. I mean, selling books is their business after all, but they do want to hear your ideas, and most importantly, they want to know what you're going to do specifically to help. The proposal is going to include about the author section, you, and once again, your qualifications. And it'll include a detailed outline of the book and sample chapters, typically the first 2 or 3 chapters. For a good source of information on book proposals, check out Write the Perfect Book Proposal by Jeff and Deborah Herman. These are actual literary agents and they have some great inside advice to offer. If you do the proposal right, then and only then, the agent's going to actually want to look at the manuscript. So you better have it ready. Getting rejected at the manuscript stage stings a little more. I know. If it's a query, it just might be the concept they don't like. If it's a manuscript, they don't like your book. Don't take that personally either. Normally at this stage, the agent will at least give a little bit of feedback. Learn what you can and move on. Worst comes to worst, in this day and age, it's easy to self-publish. In fact, that's becoming even a better alternative. For information on self-publishing, go to my website, yourconfidentialghostwriter.com, and look for my report, A Short Guide to Self-Publishing Your Book. It's a free download. You'll also find information on self-publishing as well as traditional publishing in my book, Writing Memoir, The Practical Guide to Writing and Publishing the Story of Your Life, which you can find on Amazon or wherever books are sold. I'm Jerry Payne, and you can learn more about me at yourconfidentialghostwriter.com or follow me here on YouTube, where I'll be dishing out helpful advice and practical tips in the field of writing. Thanks for joining me.